Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. It's now time for a second topic of discussion for today, and still shedding the light on the visit for President Fattah al-Sisi to the Sultanate of Oman and the Kingdom of Bahrain, and the meeting of the President with the Sultan of Oman and the King of Bahrain, and the brotherly nations, brotherly ties between the two countries. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Deputy Foreign Minister. A very good morning, Your Excellency, and thank you so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Your Excellency, first of all, your opinion about the significance of President Fattah al-Sisi's visit to the Gulf states of Bahrain and the Sultanate of Oman and the meeting with the two leaders.
It is one step more in many steps before. We received the King of Bahrain, we received the Emir of Qatar, we received His Royal Highness, the King of Jordan. So it seems that the Arab world is engaged in a sort of consultation because we are preparing for a very important meeting with the Gulf States Conference and hosting the American president. So you can predict that the American president is coming with a sort of initiative. We hope that we have an idea about what he's going to tell us to establish a sort of a front against any possible enemy in the area. This is very important, and much more important that the Arab world makes these discussions and consultations in order to bring in the front a sort of very coordinated Arab position, because this will hit all the Arab countries. All the Arab countries are interested in this situation. We have, of course, the international threats of the corona epidemic, the war in Ukraine, the lack of energy, and the environment conference. But we have also in our region problems in North Syria, North Iraq, in Libya, in Sudan, in Somalia, in Yemen. So all these are problems of our concern. So let us wait and see what the President of the United States is bringing to us. Mind you that I always say that we shouldn't be attracted to the wrong enemy. We have problems in our area. We expect that the United States comes and to solve with us our problems before any imagination go to the wrong enemy. And I'm quite sure that the Arab world can make its opinion and make a good position towards whatever we shall see in this coming conference.
Ambassador Bayoumi, from your viewpoint, how do you see the ramifications of this meeting and this visit by the President on the economic, political, and international fronts?
This is our internal kitchen. Of course, we are discussing our bilateral relations, whether collectively within the umbrella of the Arab League or country by country. And the good news here that Egypt is one of the largest country receiving Arab investment. But still, we are ambitious and we want to increase this because still the Arabs are investing abroad much more than they are investing in their own countries. That's because we need to develop our ability to absorb more and more finance. Our banking system should be much better than we are seeing now. Our communication, our intra-communication also. We have many things to ameliorate in order to be able to attract much more investment. Trade is going as much as it could be, but without investment in areas and regions where we need more investment, we shall suffer a lot. So we have many projects within the Arab countries. We should encourage this, and we encourage also the bilateral relations among the Arab countries.
Ambassador Bayoumi, as a former diplomat and an expert in Arab affairs, in your opinion, how do you see or what are the challenges facing the Arab region meanwhile?
First, I am not a former diplomat, I am a diplomat, and still I hold diplomatic passport. Maybe I am the former assistant minister of foreign affairs. Now, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, well, what do you see the challenges facing the region?
Yes, we have on the international level, as I said, the epidemic of corona. We have the economic effects of the war in Ukraine. We have the problem of the fuel and gas. We have the problems internally, whether the aggression against North Syria, against North Iraq, what's happening in Libya, what's happening in Yemen, all of these problems, we are keen to have solutions for it within the Arab dimension. And this, I think we can do it with the help of the biggest country in the Arab world, which is Egypt. With the Gulf states also, they are still in a good position. So with a good intention, I think we can reach good solutions for all these problems.
Ambassador Bayoumi, Egyptian Gulf cooperation for the benefit of Arab people, this was one of the main topics on the agenda of the bilateral meetings taking place between the Sultan of Oman and the King of Bahrain. Can you please elaborate on that?
Bahrain and Oman are countries who are financing a lot of investment projects in our country. And I am happy relatively because Egypt is attracting more and more investment. We are one of rare countries who is growing this year positively, although many countries such as China or Europe or the United States are having diminishing economies. And we have a lot of experience in this concern, which we can share with our brothers in all the Arab world. And thank God that relatively the states of the Gulf are in good economic position still. So we can use this in order to help the other countries who are still in need for more investment and more help, especially financially, in order to continue their good life.
Yes, as we're wrapping up, Your Excellency, I'd like to listen to your closing remarks in this regard.
As a matter of fact, the Arab investment yet has to be developed, but also we are complaining that most of the Arab investment goes to services, such as banks or going to real estate or building hotels. This is good, but not good enough. We want to direct our new investment to industries which we do not produce, because 70% of what we are importing in the Arab world are in areas where we do not produce anything, such as the machine industry, such as the transport and communication industry, and of course, the food gap is huge in the Arab world, and we have to invest also in the food and agriculture.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Deputy Foreign Minister, really appreciate your insight as always, and thank you so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show. And dear viewers, by this, we wrap up today's episode of The Breakfast Show. You're in the company of myself, Karim Gamaluddin, and my colleague, Amal Mukhtar. Until we meet again, this is goodbye.